Morning again. We're waiting for those people to join us live. We've got a couple of people online. Do feel free to put your comments in the comment box so that we can post your questions to Dave Giddings right now. Dave, how's your day been so far? We had our Instagram live feed this morning, didn't we just? How did you feel that went?
It was a little bit quiet, but I think a lot of people might be enjoying their gardens this morning. So we'll be back at 4 o'clock anyway for another session. Maybe we'll get a bit more traffic then. But my day's been absolutely crazy so far. What with I'm drinking coffee, answering a few emails, a few customer care emails, a few emails from sales. So things are ticking over okay, actually. Certainly getting well prepared for when we eventually do go back to normal. Yeah,
good. It's good to have everything back on track, isn't it? I think you've done all that DIY and get it out of the way. Well, I've got a special guest with me, and my special guest has just been trying to eat my cable. It's desperate to come and say hello. This is the newest member of our household, or one of the newest members. We have 3 in total. This one is Bolt. Bolt, yes. We have Thunder, Bolt, and Lightning. This is not Bolt, apparently. I'm being reliably informed. This is actually Thunder. So Thunder is an orphan sheep, little male sheep, and we are hand rearing those at the moment. So that's keeping the children entertained. Thunder has clearly had enough, so I'm going to hand it back to the handler, who's going to return Thunder back to their garden.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one, Dion, with some livestock. I don't know if you can see this, but I rescued this from a circus a few years ago. I rescued him, and I've nurtured him and tended to all his needs. And so,
is he ready for the wild again?
No, it's too domesticated now. It just won't work. I couldn't let that out in Sherwood Forest, I don't think.
That's well, it's fantastic that you gave that a new opportunity, a new start. It's very admirable, Dave.
Indeed.
Good. Keep looking out for those stray elephants to adopt. Right, so to everybody who's joining us live, welcome. Andy Ratcliffe has just joined us and has said hello. Great to see you, Andy. Thanks for
morning, Andy.
Greeting us this morning. To everyone else, do put your comments in the comment box below. I'm monitoring them on my phone. Put your questions and we'll ask Digital Dave those questions, and Dave, our resident guru, will help us out.
I've been called many things, Dion. I don't think I've been called a guru before.
Oh, well, I'm in marketing.
Yeah, that's true.
It's my job to at least make everybody try and feel good about themselves. Right.
Okay.
So first question update. Today we're going to be talking mostly about, I'm not sure whether you could see my screen there. We're going to be talking about the TD200. Something that I've been asked quite a bit is about changing the engines, because I've always wondered this when I did the demonstration video as well. How easy is it to change those engines? You can see there, one mounted on the small engine test set.
Yeah, it's not a difficult task there, Dion. You do need the help of another person, because the diesel engine especially is quite heavy. So really, to change an engine, just power off the control panel, turn off your water supply to the water dynamometer, and then you can see a red piece on that picture on your screens there. That's a guard that needs to be removed. Okay. And then you'll need to undo the exhaust temperature probe that's going into the engine. Then you'll need to you would have to uncouple your fuel line, and that connects to your fuel gauge. So just trail it away. It's a self-sealing connector, so you may get a few drops of fuel out of the end of that pipe work, but there'll be nothing more than that. Okay. Then we need to get some spanners and you'll undo the 4 heavy bolts holding the engine to the test set, move the engine away, then with the help of an assistant, lift the engine into place, make sure that it couples with the dynamometer. There's a rubber spider coupler, so you need to wiggle or jiggle the engine about just to make it mate with the coupler. There's also some dowels on the test bed that align as well. Also, when it's all lined up, get your 4 bolts again, do them up tight, reconnect your fuel line, of course not forgetting that you'll have had to change the fuel tank given that you're doing a different engine. Then reconnect the exhaust probe, the temperature probe, then you're good to go. And finally, make sure that you've refitted that red guard. That guards against any personal injury by touching the coupler, because the engine spins around up to 3,000 RPM. So we don't want any accidents. Make sure the guard is fitted. Turn on your power supply to the control panel. Turn on your water supply to the dynamometer, and then you're good to go.
How much time are we looking at here to do that?
10 minutes at the most. I mean, don't forget you'll have to disconnect and reconnect your exhaust pipe as well to the engines. And the diesel engine, it exits from a different position than the petrol engine, so you'll have already had some adapters to do that. So it takes about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, but not much longer than that.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Now, on Instagram earlier, we had Semi join us, didn't we? And he asked a question about swapping these out in situ if you've already got a TD200. And swapping out, I think he was talking about electronic starts.
Electric start, which we offer now. Yeah, this is a much easier method for starting the engines. Instead of the traditional pull cord method, we can offer the ES electric start engine that really is just a push of a button, especially beneficial if you're struggling to start the diesel engine, because it's got a much higher compression ratio. Just by that nature, it's a much more challenging engine to start. Now I can start the engine quite well. I've had years of practice, but I also got the body height and upper body strength as well, so I don't find it too challenging. But I can understand why we would offer this as an option. It's a very simple swap over and can be done in situ, on site.
Okay, so I'm just going to clarify. We've got 4 different engines that go on this small engine test set: petrol, diesel, modified versions of both petrol and diesel, and then we've got the electric start versions of all of those 4 as well, haven't we? Yeah. Great, good. So another question now, Dave. We talk about wind tunnels. Somebody's asked us, how do we offer 3D models on our wind tunnels?
Yeah, we do. If we were to concentrate on the AF 1300 subsonic wind tunnel, we offer a selection of 3-dimensional models, different shapes, different profiles, ranging from a teardrop shape to a golf ball with dimples. We do a flat plate, a sphere, a plane sphere, and a hemisphere. So we can look at wake traverse tests, and we can look at drag tests on those models. Very interesting to use. Yeah, I think we just see them there. Yeah, just past it. 3-dimensional models. Yes, we do.
There we go. This one here.
Yeah. So you can see all the different shapes. There's also a dummy model, a dummy stem, because we don't really want to be measuring the drag caused by the stems of those models. So that top image there, next to the teardrop, that's a dummy stem. So we initially take a reading of that dummy stem and we subtract it from the overall drag tests of all the other models. Then that gives you a true value of just the model and not the stem.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thanks for that, Dave.
Okay.
Good, good, good. Next question is, I'm not reading any torque or power on my MFP 101. What are we doing wrong? Let's have a
No
little
idea.
look.
I haven't got a clue.
No, this is where you say, of course. The answer is A,
Of
B, C, and
course, of course,
D.
of course. Andy and myself, we get asked this quite a lot in the customer care environment. Well, the first thing we need to do to the centrifugal pump is to prime it, Dion.
Right.
It needs to have water in it before it can pump water. Sounds a bit odd. That's quite an easy method to carry out. We just undo the top PVC connector on that centrifugal pump. Now you might be able to see that in that small picture. You can see the pump going in through the side, and then you have the connector at the top. If we undo that top connector, just get a jug of water, and you can use the water from the reservoir. No need to go to the tap. Just fill that pump up until it overflows. Okay, then we know that pump is ready, it's primed, and it's ready to go. Then screw back that PVC connector. Don't over tighten it. You might crack the housing. It's got a rubber O-ring, so that will be sealing with just a few turns using fingers and thumb. Don't use too much torque. Okay. But the biggest little hiccup that some people forget is they forget to remove the red transit bracket. This is a bracket that protects the load cell from vibrations and shock during its shipping, during transit. It's rectangular, it's red in shape, and it clamps the load cell mechanism. So if you've got that clamped, you will not read any torque or power on the LCD display. Just undo that, 2 M4 screws, keep it to one side, safe for in case it needs to be returned. Then I'm pretty certain you will get sensible torque, speed, and power readings, Dion.
Great, that's really, really helpful. There's quite a few pieces of our equipment that have little bits in them. I know when I was setting up one experiment more recently, and I couldn't get the right results. I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't read anything, and then realized there was a little plastic protector. So do check those.
Even on a recent trip I carried out in Wisconsin, Green Bay, I actually forgot to remove the transit bracket. So do as I say, not as I do. Okay.
Brilliant, Dave. Now, some people will already be, say, shut down for Easter. Do you need to drain this piece of apparatus over the Easter period or over the summer period?
Yeah, definitely. If any of your equipment is not going to get used in, you think, 3 or 4 weeks, I would definitely consider emptying all the reservoirs of water and as many of the experiments as possible. So that includes the MFPs, H47, H83, H400. They all have drain valves underneath the reservoir. Empty those tanks, and then where possible, just flush through with some clean water. Okay. Equally with the hydraulic benches, these are the water supplies for a lot of the tabletop experiments. Make sure you drain these tanks as well to prevent any sort of tide marks building up over the course. If you have flumes or flow channels, that they could be the FC range or the older H12, H23. Drain these wherever possible. Okay. And going back to the tabletop experiments, if you've got the H5, H10, H40, H30, H7, H16, the list goes on and on. Make sure these are emptied of water, but don't be tempted to use compressed air to blow out the water, because this could cause serious damage to the equipment. Okay. Yeah. There's more. I can carry on, or I can stop there.
Well, I'd quite like to remind and say hello to everybody who's joined us. The new people have joined us online to watch us live. This is a live Q&A session from the team at TechQuipment. My name's Dion Knowles, and I'm joined by Dave Giddings. we are both based in our home offices, having been put in lockdown here in the UK.
Yeah.
So we're doing our best to help you in every way we can. And the guru, the resident expert, that is Dave, hashtag Digital Dave, is here to answer all your questions. So do put your questions in the comment box below, in the chat box rather, and then Dave will answer those for you. If you're watching this on demand and you miss the opportunity to ask your questions live, then you can put those in the comment box below, and I'll chase Dave down to answer those questions too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Dave, if I have a question about the structures range now, how easy, I mean, what's the best way to set up the roof trusses experiment? Do you have any top tips on that one?
I guess you're talking about the STR8 pin jointed frameworks.
Yeah,
it sounds
that's
about
what
right.
Yeah.
Well, when you open up the kit of parts, it can look a little bit daunting, a little bit intimidating. So I would start off with a straightforward cantilever. Okay, and it's not shown on that picture there, but the cantilever is just a triangle of members. Once you've mastered the basic cantilever, then move on to the wire and girder, which what you can see there. Then finally you can end up with a roof truss. But the secret is just identifying all the members and their lengths, and then understanding their effective length, because the overall length is different to the effective length.
Right.
Now, the manual does describe quite clearly how to identify these and how many there are of each in each kit. Okay, so once you've identified your members, just start assembling it how you think it goes. You'll know if you made a mistake because your members won't line up with the connecting discs. So that's what I started to do when I was a bit well, I mean, I got stuck basically.
How do you identify those different members? So you've got members of different sizes. Have they got tags on them?
They are numbered, okay, but you can also just take a ruler and just measure the overall length and the effective length between the securing pins. Okay. That's the easiest thing to do.
Right.
And after a few goes, it'll become natural to you. You won't even have to think about it.
Fantastic. Great.
Okay.
So Dave, can you tell us what are some of your favorite products and tech equipment? Which ones do you like the most?
That's a great question. That's an easy answer. Any equipment I can break things on purpose, I enjoy. Okay, this is not accidental breakage. This is deliberate breakages. So SM1000, torsion machines, anything like that. But my two favorite products has to be the GT100 turbojet trainer with reheat, with afterburner, because it's so dynamic and it's so real life. Okay, anything that rotates at 100,000 RPM is exciting. That's 1,600 RPMs a second. Okay, so it's mind-blowing. It's loud. It smells good because it's using real life kerosene, Jet A1 fuel. It's very, very dynamic, and with the reheat or the afterburner, that adds another dimension to it. My second favorite product has got to be the AF302 continuous supersonic wind tunnel. Okay, the wind speeds through that working section are phenomenal. Okay, has a very, very high powered 3-phase vacuum pump, so it's a suction type wind tunnel, but that even with such a heavy duty pump, that's still not enough to get the wind to supersonic speed. So we have an arrangement in the inlet called a Laval nozzle, which accelerates the air through the working section at supersonic speeds up to Mach 1.8. I'm actually seeing a Mach 1.9, but no, those two are my favorite products, Dion, because they're so hands-on and exciting. Yeah.
We did have these at Aerodynamics Live. So these, for those who don't know, these are regular events that we do that focus on particular ranges. When we take people through the principles of learning involved within that discipline, and we look at the different ranges of the different pieces of equipment within that range. And you were demonstrating this piece of equipment live, weren't you, Dave?
It was fantastic. And we have the options on there, like the Schlieren apparatus that allows you to see the pressure and the shock waves building around the models inside. Now, Schlieren is a German word for streak, which is basically what you are observing on a range of optics and a digital camera, video camera, and a TV screen. So it's very hands-on. In fact, some of our customers, even pilots in an air force, have never actually seen a supersonic shockwave because it's behind them. So when I demonstrated this, it was especially interesting to these people. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find actually the bit when you're demonstrating it in that video.
I'm there somewhere.
It is towards the end, I believe.
Yeah.
So skip
yeah, I think you kept the best to the end, Dion.
Yeah. There we are. Look, you're actually about to turn it on, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is running so. At that point.
Look at those ear defenders, eh? Wow.
Fantastic. So I guess everybody who's watching, do check out our live streamed events that we have on YouTube. We have a dedicated playlist. It is live stream events from Tech Equipment. You can see everything from Aerodynamics Live, Civil Engineering Live, Theory of Machines Live. We've got some product launches that we did in there live. We've got last week's Engineering Teaching Live Q&A session, so you can see what we were talking about there. Well, what were we talking about again last week, Dave? Remind me.
It escapes me now, but
I think it was the AF 1300. We were talking about lift and drag for that.
We were talking about the SM 1000 and how to change a model from the tensile test to a beam test.
Oh yes, and we were talking about heat exchangers, swapping over heat exchangers.
Yeah, that's correct. Also, yeah. Did you mention we do hopefully? Tell me if I'm wrong, but we are planning on having a thermodynamics live, which is obviously going to be later in the year now, but hopefully we can have some very dynamic products on show there.
We will. We'll have the GT, which one is it again?
Well, I think it might be both. I think it's the 100 and the 185.
Yeah, that's right. So gas turbines
to see those two together would be fantastic.
Yes, so do look out for Thermodynamics Live. It will be coming. I can't give you the exact date yet.
No, we
can't. we had planned for it to be in June, but under the current circumstances, the schedule will be pushed back a little. But we'll keep you informed as to when that occurs.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who's watching this live, again, if I can remind you, do put your questions in the chat box below and I will put those to Digital Dave, who will ask them live during this session. Those people watching on demand, pop your questions in the comment box and I'll chase Dave Brown for the answers as well. Dave, I think we're about at the end of our questions. I just want to remind everybody who's watching that we have a remote learning support area from Tech Equipment to help people during this time, whether you're a student, whether you're an academic looking for teaching material, then do have a look at what we have on offer here. We have student videos of using pieces of equipment, some awesome videos from students from Nottingham Trent University who entered this student competition both in 2019 and we're releasing the 2021 videos at the moment as well. And after Easter, we will also be announcing the winner because I've been looking through the videos and we have an excellent winner and some also really, really strong, highly commended teams there as well. So great work by the teams and the students at Nottingham Trent University. We do have some other universities involved in the student competitions. And if you are interested in future student competitions and getting involved with Tech Equipment, then do get in contact with me. My name is Dion Knowles. I'm at Tech Equipment. get in contact, email me, message me, and we can send you some more information and start discussing how we can work on a student competition program at your university or college.
Yeah.
Going back to the remote support area, we've got a resource document, which is a PDF of about 50 plus videos in there. Some of them are the student videos I mentioned. Others are general videos where you might be looking at the career and day in the life of a civil engineer, general interest material that academics could use to complement their slide decks, their remote slide decks that they're supplying to students, or students could use to engage with a topic in a little bit more depth. Those who still have access to the labs, if you are able to go into university and you want to do experiments and share those with your students remotely, then we've also created a 9 top tips for creating a lab experiment video. So do have a watch of that. It's about 2 and a bit minutes long. Tips on lighting, content, filming, editing, etc. Have a look at that. It's quite an easy to watch, easy to follow thing. We've also got communities. We've got a YouTube community. So you're already on YouTube now. Then you can look on the communities tab. We have a community there so that students and anyone else actually in the engineering education community can get involved, post questions, ask polls, sorry. In addition to that, we've had long-running LinkedIn and Facebook communities. You can check those out there for academics, private communities where you can ask questions and share ideas. Of course, we've got the Wednesday Q&As that we're on right now. We'll be back again at 4:45 on YouTube BST later. We'll also be back again next Wednesday as well. You can, and if you've missed this and previous Q&As, you can watch them on demand. You may well be watching it on demand in this very moment.
But you don't have to wait until next Wednesday if you've got any questions about the products. Andy and I are in front of our computers every day, so you don't have to wait till then. If you have any pressing issues with your equipment, feel free to contact us.
And we also have some great news about what's happening with the Tech Equipment Factory at the moment. As many will already know, that we took the decision to close the factory for the interim while we're dealing with the spread of COVID-19 and adhering to social distancing. But we've also got members of the staff who are volunteering. They're volunteering the design and production of ventilators, delivering medical supplies, supporting the health service, and working in the food industry. So well done to those people who are helping deal with the current situation. That's pretty much it from us for today.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining us for this YouTube live stream. Don't forget, join us again next week, and you can look forward to more great videos. If you're not already subscribed to the Tech Equipment YouTube channel, then you may like to do so. We've got another video coming out today on how to cope with anxiety during the COVID-19 crisis. We've got another video coming soon on bending beams apparatus, and we've also got a bit of a fun one, Easter greeting, coming out soon. So if you subscribe, you'll get automatic notifications of those new videos coming out. Anything else to add, Dave?
No. Look forward to seeing you later.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you,
for your
Dave.
time.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Bye now.